Okay, guys, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
teacher.
guys, hello. How are you today?
Uh, Fine.
Very bored.
Okay, I get it. So we're gonna
So
see
bored.
the topic. We're gonna see the topic through slides. So can you see the slides? ¿Pueden ver claramente las diapositivas?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is
Okay,
our
so
topic for
this is our
today.
topic for today.
Um, Ana Maria, could you
Maria, could you
please turn off your
please
mic?
turn off your mic?
What?
Me escucho a través de tu
Me
micro.
escucho a través de tu
¿Puedes
micro. ¿Puedes
ponerte audífonos?
ponerte audífonos?
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So, do you remember
So, do
about
you
superlatives we saw the last session?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so we are gonna talk today about superlatives for emphasis, okay? So, first of
Okay.
all, I want you to go to Edmodo and click on this link, okay? This is on Edmodo. Right?
Okay.
This is a short game, so you're gonna play that game and you
What?
have 5 minutes for that, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna be here in
Alright.
case that you have any questions.
Ok.
Okay, so let's continue with the explanation and we can play the game later. Going back to the topic, do you remember what is a superlative?
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. But if we want a precise meaning, it is a literacy device, okay? That is usually an adjective or adverb used to distinguish an object from others of its type, como lo hablamos en la clase anterior. La idea del superlativo es destacar algo dentro de su propio tipo, de su propia categoría, ¿cierto?
Of
Yes.
course.
So it is also used to emphasize objects, persons, places, or even events, which have unique or extraordinary attributes. Okay?
Yes.
So think about this.
Think about this.
Emphasizing everything
Everything
equals to emphasizing
equals to
nothing.
emphasizing nothing.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about it?
Let's see how to use superlatives.
Superlatives.
To use a superlative, we already know that we need to add the suffix est
est
to most adjectives.
to most adjectives.
For example,
For example,
my cousin is
my
the
cousin
tallest
is the
among the
tallest
giants.
among the giants.
Right? Do you remember that?
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That works with
That
short
works with
adjectives,
short
right?
adjectives, right?
Entonces, cuando tenemos un adjetivo corto, simplemente añadimos est. We only need to add est. For example, tall turns into tallest, right? Entonces, tall, alto, tallest, el más alto, right?
Mhm.
But when we
Yes.
have a longer adjective, cuando tenemos un adjetivo más largo, tenemos que añadir the most, el más tal cosa, or the least tal cosa. Which do you suppose is the most difficult language to learn? Which do you think is the most difficult language to learn? ¿Cuál creen ustedes que sea?
Chinese.
It might be Chinese. What else? ¿Qué más? ¿Cuál otro?
German.
German. It can be really difficult.
Russian.
Russian. It has a different alphabet. It is really difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. So please, answer these questions. Each one of you in your document. Please, first of all, open a Word document. Abran un documento de Word cada uno para que hagan allí sus ejercicios, ¿vale? Okay, so answer these questions. Who is the smartest person in your family? And what country has the most strange food? These two questions. So, we are also going to learn how to use superlatives, not only to how do I say that? To distinguish things, but to make emphasis, okay? So,
Ok.
you can use superlatives to emphasize things, and you can emphasize, for example, your feelings or your opinions, right? Look at these two examples. I think that going to the street during the quarantine is the most dangerous thing to do. That's an example. It is an opinion, okay? Look at the second example. That was the most delicious thing I have ever eaten. It is kind of a feeling, okay? So you can use these superlatives to make emphasis on your opinions or feelings, right? So, we're gonna read The Little Prince and find examples of superlatives, right? You're gonna work in pairs. Vamos a leer el Principito y vamos a encontrar algunos ejemplos de superlativos. After that, we're gonna ask these questions to our partners. Vamos a hacerle estas preguntas a nuestros compañeros, ¿ok? Who is the most interesting character in the story and why, ¿ok? And do you like the book? Is it the best you have ever read? Vamos a hacer estas dos preguntas a nuestro compañero. Vamos a ir pensando las respuestas, pero vamos a estar preparados para hacerlo de forma oral, ¿vale? And ask 2 more questions and answer them using superlatives to emphasize your opinion. Vamos a pensar en otras 2 preguntas, obviamente sobre el libro, y vamos a pensar en cómo responderlas, usando superlativos, sea en la respuesta o en la pregunta, ¿ok?
Ok.
Is it clear?
Alright.
Yeah.
Ok, entonces trabajamos en pares, ¿vale? Aquí abajo tenemos unos canales que dicen Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, ¿ok? Entonces, cada uno con su compañero va a trabajar en uno de esos canales, el que ustedes escojan, right? So, our next topic is being a supportive listener. What do you think about that? What is to be a supportive listener?
What is that?
That's the question.
¿Como un consejero?
Maybe. Close.
Personas que escuchan, o sea, como el tipo de psicólogo,
Psicólogo.
pues, que escucha como los problemas.
Okay, remember to answer the questions in English, okay?
Psiquiatra.
Psychologist.
Okay.
Psychologist.
Well, maybe, but we all can be supportive listeners, okay? If you're talking to someone and you need to show that you're paying attention, you need to be a supportive listener, okay?
That's true, bro.
So, what does it mean to be a supportive listener? Obviously, you need to pay attention, but there are some tips in your conversation skills that show that you're a supportive listener. For example, if someone is telling a story and you ask questions about that, you are being a supportive listener. That's an example, okay?
Right.
Okay.
So, please, write, each one of you is gonna write 3 tips about how to be a supportive listener, okay? And you're gonna make an example for each tip. For example, tip number 1 is to keep eye contact with the other person. Mantener contacto visual con la otra persona. Puede ser un tip, okay? And you're gonna make an
Okay.
example
Right.
for those 3 tips, okay? You can stay in
Okay.
this
Okay.
in this channel, but please turn off your mic. Okay? So, we can use words like sure and really to show that we are supportive listeners, okay? So for example, the person says, "This is a great movie." You can say, "Sure it is. The best choice." Okay? Well, you're using sure to show our interest. Let's take a look at this other example. "This is my family. It is big." And the other person says, "Wow, it really is. How many of you are in this picture?" Okay?
Okay.
So these 2 words can be used to show our interest and to make the other person understand that we are supportive listeners to them, okay? So please go to the page number 26 of your book and take a look at the dialogue. So I'm gonna play the audio of the dialogue, okay? Please listen.
Page 26, Lesson C.
Can you listen? Does it sound?
Very slow, teacher.
Yes, teacher, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I had the best time. 1. Conversation strategy. Being a supportive listener. B. Listen to Kim and Diego. What do they say about Sequoia National Park?
This is the most incredible place.
Yeah, it really is. It feels good to be out of the city.
It sure does. You know, these trees are just awesome.
They really are. Have you ever been to Sequoia National Park?
No, have you?
Yeah, I went last year. The trees there are the tallest in the world.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had the best time. I mean, it's just the greatest place to hike.
We should go hiking there sometime.
You're right. We really should.
Okay, so what we are going to do now is to solve the exercise D, okay, in the book. To solve the exercise D, right? And we're gonna work in pairs using the channels, right? Do you understand?
All right, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, so please do it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we are about to finish, okay? We're going to see the page number 27,
All right.
and we're gonna make the listening exercise, right?
Okay.
Can you see it?
Wait out, teacher.
It says
Right.
listening and strategies, travel talk.
Yes, we can see that.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the recording. It is a radio interview. And you're gonna number the experiences from 1 to 4 in the order you hear them, okay?
Okay.
Does everyone understand? ¿Todos entienden?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, if you have questions, please say it, okay?
All right.
Okay, please listen carefully. You're gonna number the experiences from 1 to 4 in the order you hear them, okay?
Page 27. 3. Listening and strategies. Travel
Can you hear? ¿Se puede escuchar el audio?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
teacher. Yes.
Okay.
talk. A and B. Listen to a radio interview.
Welcome to Travel Talk. I'm your host, Ray Martin. My guest today is travel writer Jill Ryan. Jill has traveled around the world many times. Her new book is called A Traveler's Tales. Jill, welcome to Travel Talk.
Thank you, Ray. It's great to be here.
Jill, you have the most interesting life. You clearly love traveling.
Yeah, I really do. I love learning new things about the world.
Well, let's talk about your new book. You know, you've been to some of the most interesting places in the world.
I have. And it's those most interesting and most exciting places that I talk about in my book.
So then, tell me, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to?
Well, one really interesting place I visited is Petra in Jordan. It's the most amazing city.
Well, the pictures in your book of Petra are certainly amazing. They're some of the most interesting.
Yes, they sure are. The city is actually all rock. The name Petra means city of rock.
Really? Now, you've been to some beautiful places too. What's the most beautiful place you've seen?
That's a difficult question. There are so many beautiful places. I think Antarctica has the most beautiful natural features I've ever seen.
It sure does. I mean, the photographs of Antarctica are incredible. Okay, let's talk about your best and worst trips. What's the best trip you've taken?
My trip to Copper Canyon in Mexico last year was definitely the best. The colors were just wonderful. And Actually, it was pretty exciting. I rode the train through Copper Canyon. I think, actually, that's the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I bet. It looks incredibly beautiful. It looks like the kind of place everyone should go to.
Yeah, they really should. It's the most beautiful train ride. Amazing views.
Okay. Well, now I have to ask, what was your worst trip?
Well, 2 years ago, I took a Caribbean cruise. The cruise was great, but I got very seasick. I had to stay in my cabin for 4 days. I didn't see or do anything. So, yeah, that was the worst trip.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Not fun at all. Well, Jill, I want to thank you for being on Travel Talk. And good luck with your new book.
You're welcome, Ray. It was my pleasure.
Okay, so to finish, we're gonna answer these questions in the point B, okay? What's the most interesting place you've ever been to? Obviously, the answers are for the interview, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys, that's it. So, thank you for being here on this session. I know it is quite different to work like this. Es bastante diferente trabajar así. Entonces les agradezco mucho, chicos,
Bastante.
su disposición. Me pareció que esta es la plataforma como más cómoda, pero creo que igual algunos pues de pronto necesitamos más explicación, ¿vale? Entonces voy a tratar de subirles alguna especie de instrucciones o algún tipo de tutorial para que quede más claro cómo usar la plataforma, ¿listo? Cómo sacarle más provecho.
Ok, teacher.
Entonces, por favor, para la siguiente clase terminemos el ejercicio que queda allí en la página 27. El que está en la parte de arriba.
I did it.
Y eso sería todo. Ya les estaré comentando para la siguiente clase, ¿listo? Bueno, muchas gracias, chicos, y que tengan buena
Ok,
tarde.
teacher, bye.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.